Nolan. I'm the memorabilia tour guide here at Hard Rock Orlando. We're in the Roots of Rock room in front of our spectacular Beatles wall.
Got Mother Love Bone jersey from Lakers. I can zoom in. It's multi-touch. Find out again the story behind it. I can find related memorabilia. So if I want to see other things from Mother Love Bone, or I want to see other clothing pieces, you can pivot off of all this stuff. And you'll see that common theme in the other stuff that we've got too. So let's see, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to explore this item again. Deep zoom into it. This is a single touch unit right now. We're looking at multi-touch. You've got the ability to see the background stories. If you want to read it over on that side, you just bring that over there, see it over there. Again, you can pivot through the different types of data that we've got. So that's cool. I mean, you've seen this before. We've got it. It's now the third application that we've taken the same content and brought it out to the folks. A little bit more intimate setting where the diners themselves can find their favorite bands, browse through that. But this is some of the other cool stuff we've done. Rock Shop. We've got some of our featured Rock Shop items in here. We built this application. Basically, we've got cooler stuff than you think we do. People think we just sell that logo T-shirt. What really makes this thing tick, in my opinion, is the connection with the music. We've got this connected to our video distribution server at all the cafes. So if I want to see who's playing and I didn't happen to see the little ticker on the bottom of this thing, I can come in here and say, oh, okay, that's Smashing Pumpkins 1996. 1996, I'm sorry, 1979. And I can see related memorabilia we have. I'm sorry, unfortunately we don't have any Smashing Pumpkins, but you can see the other pivots in here. You want to see stuff from 1976, I'm sorry, 1996, or alternative music, we can now bring that stuff up. And again, we've got a new set to pivot through. But now, not only can you see the last 10 songs that were played in the cafe, if you want to go back that far and see that, but now I can also vote on the next song that's going to play. So now we got some democratic way of looking at the music. So what we're trying to do is really tailor the environment to our guests. So we have this voting. There's one good way to do that. We also are trying something here called we're calling AV DJ or Vibe Manager. It's sort of it's a wandering tablet. It's sort of like I hate to use it, but sort of like an iPhone. Or I'm sorry, like iTunes, where you can search through things, browse through artists, make playlists, and that will also come up based on who's in the cafe. So we can, if a busload of AARP folks come in, now all of a sudden we can play some Dean Martin, we can play some oldies and things that they would appreciate. If a bunch of 20-year-olds come in and they're rocking the house, and we can play, I don't know, some hip hop or something that would get some vibe going on. Or the host can just go around and say, hey, great to hear. What's your favorite band? Oh, Pink Floyd, you like them? Well, look, we have some really cool memorabilia. By the way, I'll cue up a couple Floyd songs for you on the way. So we really can start building that connection with our guests and make it a little bit more customized. We've got two more things that we're piloting here. One is this thing you may see in front of you. This is something called ESP. It's a company, I'm not even sure where they're out of, unfortunately, and maybe one of them are around here, but this ties in with a little wristwatch and also the seating system in the front. So the servers all wear wristwatches as well as some of the managers on the floor. So if we've got, when the guest gets seated, the host brings over and they scan their watch at this thing, and then all of a sudden it says, okay, you have someone waiting at your table. Buzzes the waiter comes over, or the waitress comes over, and all of a sudden they go, beep, I'm here. So we get all these metrics based on when, how long it takes for the person to get seated, before the waiter comes over. If the person needs the waiter at any point during their dining experience, they press that button, the waiter comes over whenever they need you. So no longer, have a great time, and at the end, where's my waiter? I gotta get my check. It's gotta ruin your experience. So now we've got the opportunity to stay intimately in touch with the waiter. They'll be around if you want them to, or you can just buzz them when you need them. It also has the ability, if you press it 3 or 4 times in a row and you're not getting any response from the waiter doesn't come check it off, a manager will come over. Is everything okay? So again, it's increasing the guest satisfaction, hopefully, making sure that they're well taken care of, which is the goal, obviously. And then it also does guest surveys. So at the end of the meal, or 30 minutes into the meal, it will say, would you mind taking a survey? How was the food? Would you recommend it to a friend? 5 quick questions that will hopefully give us some good feedback on how well the service was and how well the food was. So the very last thing, which is, I think this is the very first time we're doing this, and I think it's really cool. Again, we've got really cool content and really good stories behind our memo. I don't know if you notice any down here, but certainly as you walk up in the hallways, you'll see, there's one right behind you on the guitar. There's a number 40. You see that number 40 on the bottom of that guitar up there? There's a phone number that you dial, and it may be, there are plaques around here that tell you what that number is. But if you dial the phone number and then type in 40, it'll be Jeff Nolan, who's our curator, basically, who tells these stories, talking about that piece of memorabilia. So in his own words, with his own spin, you know, talking about kind of the real story behind the piece that's hanging on the wall. Gives you a really good connection with it, and kind of some of them are very funny. He's a funny guy, and he's got some sort of opinions about certain artists, so I encourage you to play with that. We're also looking at things like Microsoft tags to be able to take the place of that number, so you don't have to call the number, you just snap the tag and it'll automatically take you to a website or dial the phone number for that information. So we're still experimenting. Seattle seems like a really good market. We've got really good support from Microsoft locally on this stuff, and it just seems like a really cool place to try some of this stuff out. So as it works, we'll roll it out to other cafes. This is the fourth cafe in our system that now has what we call Hard Rock Interactive. And we intend to put it in all of them going forward, and always constantly creating new applications or enhancing the applications we have to make sure we keep this stuff fresh.